Right, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but today, for some reason, I don't know why, I really fancied listening to this album. People say, oh, well, you know, like my mum always used to say, have you not grown out of that yet? And no, I haven't. That's that's the simple answer. I think I don't listen to this all the time because you don't need to. I listen to it on average maybe once a year. And that's enough for me. I mean, when I was younger, I used to listen to it a lot more. Obviously, I had it on cassette and I used to play it on my Walkman. But this is just, I find this album just such an amazing achievement. And they never even tried to follow it up with anything else like it. Their next album, and this is Raining Blood from 1986. Their next album was released in 1988, and they slowed everything down because this album just goes along at an insane speed. The whole thing is over and done with, I think, within 26 minutes. The two best known tracks are the longest tracks on it, Angel of Death and the title, Raining Blood, which is kind of the title track. They're both over 4 minutes, but everything else, virtually none of them clock in at anything over 2.5 minutes. But it's an achievement, I think, in the thrash metal world, and it's just totally different from anything I've heard. Nobody's bettered it in terms of just pure speed and aggression. I mean, it's just totally... I mean, look at the cover. I mean, thrash metal bands in 1986 weren't releasing albums with covers like that. Celtic Frost, maybe, but... I mean, look, what's even going on there? It's just chaos, which is at times what the actual album sounds like. I mean, at the end of Raining Blood, they clearly just don't know how to end it because it's just noise. And it just ends with a massive thunderclap and rain, the sound of rain. And I think sometimes the cover matches the sound contained within the actual album. It's chaos, but controlled chaos. It's always going somewhere. It's not incoherent. So yeah, I think I would put down this as one of my favourite albums of all time, really. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I think this was released in 1986, which was a bit of a purple patch for thrash metal. Metallica released Master of Puppets. Anthrax brought out Among the Living, I think, in 86, and Megadeth came out with Peace Cells, which are all classics in that if you want to get into thrash metal, they're all albums that you need in your collection. But this is just something completely different. I mean, I couldn't imagine any of those other bands releasing this. Not that those other bands are inferior, it's just nobody else would have attempted it. And then sometimes, I mean, I think it was originally released on Def Jam because Rick Rubin, who produced this, was a huge fan of Slayer, even though at the time he was more well known for obviously Run DMC and bands like that on Def Jam. And sometimes it makes sense that this is on Def Jam because the speed with which Tom Araya sings or shouts or screams the lyrics, it's like rap. It's just so fast, but you can understand what he's saying. I think it's just extraordinary. That's why I just say it's an achievement. And as you can see there, they are on the back with their cans of Stella Artoises. You know, not the kind of moody shots they've become known for later. That's just like 4 guys who are clearly pissed, I guess. But I mean, they're all on top of the game. I mean, Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman, the 2 guitarists who you can see here, they're just amazing. They trade guitar solos. They wrote all of the album between them. And then Dave Lombardo here is like, well, I've seen him described as the Neil Peart of thrash metal, which is a kind of guess because his drumming on this is just insane and very technical. And Tom Araya there, just the way he sings these lyrics is astounding. So yeah, Raining Blood by Slayer, what a fantastic record that is. And no, I'm never going to go out of listening to it because I listened to it on the way here and I could get it all in the time it took me to drive here. They used to play this as an encore because it's only 20 odd minutes long. I think there was a tour where they played it as an encore. So yeah, it's just an astonishing achievement, and I love it.